This is Josh Sheriff here, coming at you live with a deck profile, officially for my new Batama deck. Let's get started. All right, y'all must be thinking like, first off, I'm gonna start with my Forerunner. I run not one, not two, but three copies of Stuff Rogue of the Wintry Winds Kamojigusa. Now I know what y'all thinking, like, why you running three of this guy? Well, basically because you need counter charge, and this deck eats up a lot of counter blasts until we get our new critical trigger in the next set coming out, which I will make an update on that deck profile very soon. Basically, Generation Break 1, he has After Image. When you call this unit and your opponent has a card in their bind zone, you drop it and you counter charge one. Pretty much simple. And then also this After Image ability. When you have 6 or less cards in your hand, you can add this guy to your hand. When your opponent puts a bind card from their bind zone into their hand. So yep, so 3 Forerunners. Now, you can't have a new Batama deck without 4 copies of Shiranui. I know what y'all thinking, yeah, Josh, you know, he's like $40 a card, but man, if you want to play Shiranui, you need 4 copies of this card, because he's like one of the best cards in this deck right now. It's probably one of the best new Batama units in this game, besides Kuchikiri Kongo, which I'll get to in a minute. Basically, his GB2 skill, when your hand is less than your opponent, he gets plus 5,000 and also a critical. And also when you stride on him, counterblast 1. You choose a card on your opponent's hand. Your opponent chooses a card in your hand and discard it, and then you choose a card in the field and bind it face up. So you need to run 4 copies of this card. Also, moving forward, 2 copies of Kuchikiri Kongo, the Break Ride, best card, one of the best cards, second to Shiranui in the main deck in New Batama. Limit Break. You call Shiranui. On top of this guy, 10,000 more power. Your opponent discards a card from their hand, and also they choose a card in their hand, bind it face down. So there's also a deadly combo with this with Shiranui that I'm gonna get to in a minute. All right. Last but not least, I know you might think I'm crazy. 2 copies of Stealth Dragon Voidmaster, OG Voidmaster. On hit, he doesn't have to hit the Vanguard. Counterblast 1. Your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand. That's why it's so important to have 3 of these guys, so you can also replenish those counterblasts. So you can have room for plays like this. And you don't want to ride this guy at all. I mean, it's kind of like a risk and reward kind of thing. So you gotta be careful, guys, when you're playing Voidmaster. I'm just letting you know, but this is like probably I say the 3rd best grade 3 in the game, and well, not in the game, but in the New Batama clan so far.
What we're doing.
Okay.
We're doing the Vanguard now.
And for grade 2s, we're gonna do 4 copies of Tamahagane. Simple, on call, binder face up rear guard, and you just basically, you know, just get it just sets up After Image. It's really good with your Forerunners, and you know, you could just pretty much get that combo off and set up for next turn. This is like your main ride target. If you don't get them, that's fine. Pray to God that you have a Shiranui on your Vanguard circle, because you need to get that After Image stuff going. Also, one of the best grade 2s in the deck, 4 copies of Stealth Rogue of the Night Fog Miyabi. Generation Break 1, swing. Counterblast 1 when she's boosted. She gains power plus 3, and you choose a card in your opponent's hand, put it in the bind zone. There's no explanation. Just run this card at 4. This could be anything, but I run Stealth Rogue of Night Fog, Ajito Maru. His skill is on hit. Well, he has to hit the Vanguard, which kind of sucks. But if he hits the Vanguard, choose a card in your opponent's bind zone, put it to the drop zone. Simple stuff. On hit pressure. The goal of this deck is trying to add more pressure to the Vanguard, so you can get rid of people's cards in the bind zone, and that kind of thing. So, but moving on to grade 1s, 4G flippers, self-explanatory. You gotta run them. You don't run them, you're a bad player. I know this might be excessive. 4 copies of Temple Stuff Rofuki. Now, he does have a misprint. Instead of 3 or less, it's 3 or more. Counterblast 1, act ability, put him to soul. Choose a card in your opponent's hand, bind it. The goal of this deck is to make sure your opponent has less hand. If you're running a pure after image deck, you ain't playing Nubatama correctly.
How long your Overwatch game is gonna be?
All right, now old school OG Dreadmaster.
8:30.
I'll run the OG. Wait, let me get to him. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. I'll run the OG Nubatama engine.
Have fun, pony.
Nubatama at its best. Focus on getting rid of cards in your opponent's hand. If you focus on after image,
Now you gotta actually get on the ground and actually get out of trouble.
you ain't fighting this deck correctly. All right, yeah, but that's skip this. All right, and also 3 copies of Strike Fighter, self-explanatory. Search your Shiranui on call. Reveal grade 3. Discard a card from your hand. Basic stuff. Okay, now for triggers. Non-critical. When you have a clan that focuses on discarding cards from your opponent's hand or binding them in their hand, you need more critical. It makes them very hard to block. It makes you even more dangerous. These guys are assassins. They go in for the kill. That's what they're for. Also, if you're not running the promo crit, get these guys. You know, that's all I can say. They're cool. You want the promo guys because they're swag. 3 copies of the stand trigger. Now, in this deck, you don't want to run draw, because if you run draw in Nubatama, you are a bad player, because you need to stand some of the rear guards, especially if you have Void Master. You want to be able to restand and get its effect off so you can discard even more cards in their hand. Also, GB1 skill when your hand is less than your opponent. Give him +3.
I'm on the phone with the dude who orders Vanguard. Y'all want me that new set on Friday?
Yep.
What is the new set?
That running there. I already bought my stuff.
Yep. So, moving on. And he has after image 2. He goes back to the deck, draw 1 card. Just simple stuff. You want to run stand in this deck.
We'll keep tabs with you.
And also, for the beautiful heal triggers, gotta have them. Unless you Spike Brothers, you want to go all out. You want to be Helmet. Be my guess. All right, going for the G Zone. 2 copies of Guess Rurikon.
I'll see you when I get back.
On his skill, discard card from your opponent's hand. Simple. I'll recommend 3, but I only have 2 at the moment. I'm gonna try to get some more, but I recommend 2. Zamaricon. He's not that important. I only use him for G assist anyway. 2 copies of Gonricon. Stride skill. When you stride this unit, your opponent chooses 2 cards on the field to keep, and they bind the rest. If there's 3 or more rear guards on the bind zone, they choose 2 cards in their bind zone and put them to the drop zone. Best combo with Shiranui. Just basic stuff. Okay. I Tech 1 Jirurikon, I think that's how I pronounce it, aka Grandmaster. When you stride on him, with Kuchihiro Kongo, he gets a skill on swing, counter blast 2. Choose one card in the field. Your opponent chooses a card in their hand, bind it face down. At the end of the turn, you have a Sure Stealth Dragon Vanguard. They send it to the drop zone. Just get rid of key units unless you don't have Shiranui. Y'all might be thinking like, what the hell is he doing? Blizzard. Just so you can get to GB2, because this deck is even deadlier at GB2. Alright, now to the bosses. 2, Rikudo Stuff Rogue, a God Lord. GB2, Counterblast 1, flip up a copy of himself. If your opponent's hand is 3 or less, he gains a +1 critical. Also, if he swings, your opponent chooses a card in their hand, puts it to the bind zone. I win so many games with this card because my opponent has only 1 card in their hand. I swing with this guy, and then he pretty much has no cards in his hand. He's eating a crit, so it's good. So I recommend 4 of these guys. I'm getting some in the mail very soon. Hopefully, I need to get them before the next set drops because I'm pretty sure they're probably expensive as hell right now. So gotta get them. Hokage, basically. Rikudo Stealth Dragon Sukamura Khan, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in this deck. All I can say, yeah, I'm serious, guys. Stride on this guy with Sukamura Khan, Counterblast 1. Counterblast 2. Your opponent chooses 4 cards in their hand to keep and bind the rest in their hand. When you use Stride with Shiranui, Counterblast 1, they're down to 3. And you basically, they only have 3 cards in their hand to block. I recommend running 2 instead of 4, but you only need 1, but I recommend 2 just in case the other one doesn't get off. Alright. And now also run for 2 of the just a regular G Guardian for Nubutama. I can't really pronounce his name, but also when you guard with him, your opponent's hand is 5 or less. He gains +5. And I also recommend, if you have him, run Dismail and Screw, and also try to run some Breeze as well if you have him. Also, there's a deadly formation with this. You got Shiranui as your Vanguard. You got this guy. You also have Miyabi. And this is what I call the No Way Out combo. What this is like, you stride with Sukamura Khan, activate the skill, Counterblast 2, power call some of your forerunners to get the counter charge back if you can. It doesn't really happen much, but if it does, it's really good because basically you swing on one of your open rear guards, and then you swing your opponent's rear guards. They hit, they discard a card. They swing when she's boosted. They bind a card in their hand, so they're down to 2 cards, maybe 1. And you swing with your Sukamura Khan. And you pretty much have them swing at a Vanguard and pretty much barely have any hand to block. Same thing that applies to where is he? Yeah, a God Lord. So yeah, I mean, same rule applies. You know, just different strategies that you can play out. I really love this clan. It's my favorite clan in the game. Arguably my main clan, and I would definitely recommend you guys try this out if you have the funds to do it. I'm blessed to be able to get all these cards before the hype. So stay tuned, guys. This is Josh Sheriff with the Nubutama deck profile, and remember, turn up your Vanguard.